divide my presentation into three. Introduction to Grab. I'll talk about Grab Share, but later we'll proceed to the question and answer along with the other speakers. Just a show of hands, and it's okay, just be honest. Who here has used Grab at least once? Okay, excellent. Yay, okay. Si Gabson agrees ng hand. Okay. Honestly, when Grab started here, people were comparing it to Uber, right? And we saw a lot of brand love for Uber when it was still here. And just a little bit of background on how Grab started. Grab actually began in Malaysia when the founders, we have a female founder and a male founder, wanted to solve the safety in taxis, particularly for women. Okay, how did it begin? Basically, in Malaysia, the founders thought that there has to be a better alternative, especially for women commuters. And so Grab started My Taxi, right? Grab Taxi. It wasn't really the TNVS space just yet. It was more of the app-based taxis. And so when it came here to the Philippines, before it was sold locally to now its current Filipino 60% owner, it started off with the taxis, right? It targeted the taxis in the beginning. And what was the advantage there that Grab saw? Aside from safety, there is some sort of accuracy, right? It helped that you are able to monitor where you are going, how to get there. There is a point A and point B. And I remember, I was just sharing earlier with Ma'am Sheila that we attended, Grab representatives attended a week-long course at the UP SERP. And what really struck us the most is that how do you address the problem of traffic, of mobility? It's not so much focusing on traffic per se, but being able to transport people from point A to point B in an efficient manner, right? You don't want to add cars. You don't want to add any other, like for example, if I were to go to, say, a building that is a kilometer away, mainit, papasundo na lang ako, ano ba yan? Pero carry mo maglakad eh, di ba? Pwede mo siyang lakarin. So how do you encourage people now to get from point A to point B by, in an efficient way, but not so much sacrificing convenience as well, right? Grab. Okay, so what we're aiming for at Grab right now is we want to be Southeast Asia's super app. Like I said, it started as a transport app, right? But I'm sure a lot of us here are aware it eventually moved to different other services. You have delivery service of food. You have Grab Express parcel delivery. And now we have Grab Pay, where it's an in-app payment method. We are one of a handful, about 10 non-banking institutions that was granted by the BSP with an EMI license, or an electronic money issuer license. Okay, so that's basically how Grab started, and that's how Grab evolved through the years. Just some milestones, maybe we'll see how Grab started out, like what I described as Grab Taxi, and then Grab Car was eventually introduced. And then there was an open traffic initiative back in 2016. What is this? Grab partnered with the World Bank. Similar to what was being described earlier by our speaker from Shell, Grab has a network, right? From the name itself, Grab as a TNC, a transport network company. And the TNVS partners, or the operators, are transport network vehicle services. And so in this network, in this data that we have, we are able to help out institutions determine traffic, determine those safety issues, roads that need to be fixed, for example, or travel issues. And so we partnered with the World Bank in 2016, where we had this open traffic initiative wherein we shared data with them. And the drivers as well were given the task, or were sort of like our road safety marshals. We even have a partnership with the Highway Patrol, Highway Patrol Group, where they were even anointed. Our drivers were anointed as your road safety marshals. 2017, we have Grab Share, which is the thing that I wanted to focus on today, and I'm so glad that the first topic was on HOV, right? March 2018, now here, right? Grab acquires Uber in Southeast Asia, and then this is where everyone was just so mad, right? And it was a shift, right? It was a shift because not only was there so much love for Uber at that time, it now translated to hate for Grab. Okay, so when I started with Grab, I felt like I was my friend's call center, help center. Every time may reklamo, I open my phone. You know, when I go to a party, hoy, bakit ganyan? You know, but then everyone's like, I miss Uber so much. And I'd be like, okay, but you know. Okay, how are we now able to address that? And what is this social good that we have been that we're trying to educate our passengers, our users? You know, you'll be surprised. Some people use Grab food but have never ridden a Grab car because they opt to avail of other services, right? That will address day-to-day inconveniences, day-to-day problems, right? So that was a milestone, definitely. And what we want others also to understand is that, especially now for Grab Philippines in particular, because now that it's 60% Filipino, we are able to understand the passengers more. We are able now to really, from the ground, connect to people that use our app. In fact, if you're familiar with the president of Grab Philippines, Brian Koo, Brian is this kind of person who has, you know, nice cars, right? He can afford it, right? He probably has like a key to some luxury car in his pocket. But he uses Grab all the time and takes the MRT every single day. So when you see him, you will never see him in a suit. He is always in a t-shirt, because for him to understand and to be able to connect to the commuters and to drivers, he has to do it himself, right? Another fun fact: when you are new at Grab, part of your orientation, this is really cool, and I am really pushing for this, maybe in other companies as well. Part of your orientation is one afternoon, you have to act as a Grab driver. So you ride with a Grab driver beside you, you're in the passenger seat. You are now the one that will operate and book the ride, accept the rides that are booked. And then you talk to the passenger, ma'am, we just like to inform you, kasi baka magulat yung passenger pag sakay niya, bakit may nakaupo dun sa harap, diba? Ma'am, we just like to inform you that this is part of what we call Grab experience. I am a new employee at Grab, and this is part of my orientation. If you are okay with this, then you may accept the ride, and we will give it to you for free, right? So things like that. You need to be able to do it to understand what's really happening. Okay. And of course, the favorite, January 2019, Grab Food was introduced. Another thing that we really take pride in is that there was this recent independent study where they said that Grab Food is now the top food delivery service in Metro Manila. And we take pride in that because we wanted to understand, okay, so we were very happy, right? What made us number one? So we wanted to ask customers who've used other services as well. And to them, it's to be able to communicate with the delivery guy on a personal level. And then the delivery guy sometimes kasi, kunwari, what's the favorite delivery here? Sige, magkaaminan na. Milk tea, right? So, on the Grab Food platform, our number one food that is delivered is milk tea. So that's part of the data, right? And so when people ask nga, there's a running joke in the office, what is your blood type? It's milk tea, right? So how are they able to connect with the customers on a personal level? There are certain, for example, instances where you order and order mo may pearls. When the driver or the rider gets to the restaurant or to the milk tea place, walang pearls, ma'am, hindi available ang pearls, ano pong gusto ninyo, or gusto ba nating palitan? Medyo may ganon, di ba? There's like that extra mile. And this is one thing that we always strive for, not just in food delivery, but in any other service that we provide. All right, so we are available in 15 cities in the country. We may not be present, GrabCar itself may not be present in all these cities, but we are present maybe as GrabTrike, right? Ano yan eh, so local, very, very localized Grab taxi, GrabTrike. We did have Grab Bike before, but because of some regulatory hurdles, we had to stop it. We read in the news that another company, Angkas, is piloting the two-wheel taxi service. We're excited to see how that will turn out. We know that there are still a lot of issues with respect to safety, but we're excited to see if this will actually improve not only the congestion, right, but also other mobility issues in the city. Okay. What's next? Well, we continue to evolve, we continue to study the market, and we continue to think of other initiatives that will help improve the daily lives of Filipinos. Now, we go to GrabShare. There's just a simple, problem-solving step that any company, I think, would go through. And this is something that we always, when we brainstorm in Grab, I just found out yesterday, by the way, masyadong bata yung mga empleyado sa Grab. Apparently, the average is around 27 years old. Right? About 27 years old. And when I work with these people, and I'd like to think I'm still young, but when I work with them, they're so much eager, they're so eager, there's so much energy. And the way that they attack a problem, it's always based on experience, and also because when they interact with people, we have brilliant data analysts, and they study certain issues in such a way that they take advantage of the platform. That's what you should do. The platform is there. The Grab platform is there. How do we utilize the Grab platform to address these problems? Okay, so I think, yes, okay, so we'll show just a very, very short video.
Kahit ano pa mang trip mo, mas masaya ang may kasama. Parang a whole new world. Dahil kahit one sweet day lang, may ka-just the two of us ka. Di mo na kailangan mag-stay up all night to get lucky. Malay mo, baka ito na ang tubig ang one moment nyo. With the night's beauty and the beat, madali lang maging into you sa isa't isa. And it might just be the start of your endless love. Ang sayang may ka-share. Tara, G!
Okay, so this is... Okay. What's our next slide? So that's just a short video of how we try now to promote and encourage people to use GrabShare. What is GrabShare? Okay, Sana may nakasubok na mag-grab share dito. Ako, ano rin ako, suki din ako ng grab share. Grab share basically is the carpooling service of Grab. And why do we see it now as a solution? We see it as a solution because we feel that it can actually serve more riders, right? So earlier, si engineer mentioned that there is a little bit of regulatory hurdle here with the LTFRB. Nung sinuunang panahon, yung carpooling, di ba? Parang they say, okay, you carpool, but there are times that you would need your co-passengers or the other passengers to pay for gas, for example, that you charge a small amount. And every time there is an amount that is charged, you're now subject to regulation. Sad but true, right? So kahit na, for example, you know, you hold yourself out as, for example, just a carpooling. We can just go to work together, right? We can go to work together. But then the risk there that in fairness to the LTFRB, what they try to address really is the liability. In case that there is an accident, right? Or in case that something happens to a third person outside the country, outside the car, then who becomes liable? So what happens now with Grab Share? Grab Share is regulated, yes, because now there is an actual driver. And then everyone will just have to pay a certain amount to the driver. What the app does is it matches the driver and the passengers to other passengers. What did we realize? Based on data that we have, during peak hours, let's say sometimes in the morning or at night, right from the office, there is a common denominator. Either pareho kayong lahat sa CBD papunta, or either lahat kayo manggagaling sa isang CBD, right? Pauwi. So how did we take that data and translate it into something that is useful and more efficient? Hence Grab Share. Okay. Now, earlier with the process, right, we wanted to sort of do like a trial, right? The hypothesis, and then we try to validate what actually works. What is the system that actually works in terms of pick up, drop off, or is it pick up, drop off? Or can we mix the two, right, and make it more efficient? The thing about Grab Share, and if you've tried it, it's cheaper, right, than Grab Car. Parang nung may Uber pa, when they had Uber Pool was cheaper. For some people who are in a hurry, they wouldn't want to carpool because that could mean that they would be the last to be dropped off, or before they are dropped off, there is a need to pick someone up, right? So yung mga ibang nagmamadali, or kung kunwari, like yung mga maaga namang umaalis ng bahay, hindi pa malilate sa office yan. Tapos, normally, you're able to gauge how long it will take you from the pickup point to your destination, but still carpooling with 2 people or 3 people. The model right now of Grab Share is that basically there are 2 maximum seats. How does it work? When you look at your app and you select Grab Share, there will be an option, just you or with a companion. Actually, interestingly, I've tried Grab Share several times, and normally I would encounter couples, like I usually ride Grab Share on my own, so I take the front seat. And then in the back, sometimes it's couples, sometimes it's mag-ina, like very, very different people that you'd encounter in Grab Share. Okay, right. So there is also a rider experience management. There are some people who would say, why was I matched with this other passenger when the directions that we wanted to go to are magkalayo or opposite sides, right? Again, this is addressed by the system, by the algorithm. we take advantage of that data and that algorithm wherein we make it more efficient. And so we have a set radius, right? So even for Grab Car, we have a set radius whereby only those within that radius can be picked up. So then it also reduces your waiting time and your travel time. Okay, how now did we try to introduce this? It takes a while for people to adopt something new, right? It's human nature. You're basically drawn towards something that you're used to. Initially, we offered this. We gave out promos to riders to try it out. There was already an incentive to try Grab Share because it's cheaper, right? But we still offer promos. Just a little bit of trivia. How many unique bookings does Grab get in a day? Daily, ha? Daily unique requests for a car. Hold on to your seats because it's 460,000 per day requests. How many cars are we allotted by the LTFRB? It cannot even respond to that. We have 40-something thousand cars only in a day because some of them are part-time, right? Some of them are part-time, and that's the idea of it. You know, I have a spare car, or not, sorry, I have a car, but let's say my day job is not, you know, it's like, let's say, mid-shift, right? It's not really a strict 9 to 5. Then at my spare time, I drive as a TNVS. So, from that 40,000+, how many vehicles are active in a day? Only about 30-something thousand. Who will have to respond to 460,000 requests, right? So this is also something that we share publicly, and we take pride in it, that we have given so many jobs to TNVS partners because they are able to earn more than twice as much as your minimum daily wage earner because of their services on the app. How do we want to address that? We are, like what I said earlier, we want to highlight Grab Share. Right now, though, based on our numbers, Grab Share would only be around 18% usage. We want to increase that. We want people to take advantage of this. For the drivers, how do we ensure that the drivers also would opt to drive as a Grab Share driver? We have this program, it's called Always On, meaning to say that the Grab drivers or the TNVS partners can opt to turn on Grab Share all the time. And so they are able to earn more compared to just driving one person as like the normal Grab car. So that's one thing that we also want to encourage them to do. Okay, so this is an example, right? I pick up just to show you how Grab Share works, and as a fun fact, 7 passengers is the longest daisy chain we've had in the Philippines so far. What's the chain? You have a passenger A, pick up, passenger B, pick up, passenger A, drop off, pick up passenger C now, okay? Passenger B, drop off, and then passenger C, drop off. So it's nice, right? It's I would call it like aside from the carpooling, normally like the carpool, I also did carpool for a while when I was in college. It's like you're all just going to one village, for example, right? From school to one village. Diba? Parang same lang naman yung direction. The way that this works is that while you are en route to your destination, someone is getting off and someone is getting on, right? Okay. What's next for Grab Share? Again, we want to maximize it. We do have 6-seater options on Grab, and we want to be able to introduce share there as well. Again, do you have friends here from the LTFRB? We just want to be able to work with government and coming up with regulations that will encourage people to not only take grab share, right? But if one person taking grab share and I tell someone to, you know what, you should also try it out, right? It's sort of like the physical but network effect still, right? That we want to happen. I get this all the time when people ask me questions and when media ask me questions as well. Don't TNVS add to the traffic? Because you're adding cars, right? Right? What is the real, ultimate, practical question? Yes po. May talagang nadadagdagan naman ng kotse, di ba? Some people, what they would do is, or some analysts would say, what is the TNVS replacing? Is it replacing taxis? Are some taxis being displaced when TNVS are added? That's why we still respect and we leave it to the knowledge and the wisdom of our regulators because they are the ones that control supply, right? So with that though, we want to be able to share data with them. We want to be able to work with them in order to come up with regulation that is sound and effective. We want to address demand, definitely. 460,000 a day is huge. But at the same time, we want to be able to introduce mechanisms such as grab share to address the demand without adding to the congestion. Okay. What else is next? Oh, this one I like. I think in other countries, so Grab is present in several countries, right, in Southeast Asia. Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, Myanmar, Cambodia. And I think in a couple of other countries, they rolled this out already, the willing to walk feature and willing to wait. So for example, when you book your Grab share, there is an option. We want to introduce like an option that will also make the fare cheaper. If, for example, you can click willing to walk. What does that mean? If passenger A is getting dropped off in a building that is about 200 meters away from passenger B, pero may mahabang U-turn pa, for example. Magkalapit lang pero may mahabang U-turn, right? Willing to walk? Yes. So you get dropped off in that building, which is about 200 meters away from your original destination. You get a cheaper fare, but at the same time, it's more efficient for you and the driver because now you don't add to that U-turn congestion, the redirectioning driver. Things like that, right? It's something similar to willing to wait. And these are things that we try to innovate, things that we want to introduce in order to make this ride-sharing industry more efficient and, of course, more convenient for the riders. I hope I was able to share something insightful, and I guess we'll welcome questions, right? Thank you, everyone.